we are going to discuss about a common structure of the report. You all understand what the report are, isn't it? And you also know the different types of report. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the structure of the report. In general, what are the things that are included when you are presenting a report? Let us understand and let us discuss about each segment in detail. The first thing that you are going to present in a report would be the table of content. Of course, there is a title page, not to forget that. There will be a cover page in which you are going to include the name of the person, the title on which the report is proposed, and then to whom you are going to submit, to whom it is handed over. This will be covered under the segment title. But after that, once when we open up the report, the first thing that we see is table of content. I hope everybody has gone through the lesson related to proposal writing, and I have explained you even there that when we talk about proposal writing, the first thing that will be mentioned under the segment of proposal would be the table of content. It is exactly the same like an index which is there in a book. If you open a textbook which contains different chapters, which contains different unit, the unit may have subunits and subunits may have subtopics. So there are different ways of presenting the information wherein you are going to talk about all the different points and from which page number to which page number. Or if we are willing to explain in detail, if you want to know about the subtopics, on which page number, which subtopic is presented, that could be detailed in the index column. And similarly, the same thing is mentioned even on the content, which is called as table of content. Now, whenever we are talking about table of content, please remember it is exactly the same like an index of a textbook, which talks about the different things, the different subjects or the different segments of the report. And each segment, from which page number to which page number, it covers what kind of segment, to what extent the information is included. So everything will be mentioned in the first page, which is called as table of content. A word of caution, whenever you are preparing the table of content, please remember, though it is presented in the very first or initially it is to be captured and inserted, you're not going to present it or you're not going to draft it initially. This will be written at the end, after preparing the complete project, after satisfying yourself that yes, my report is absolutely well done, well crafted and well drafted. After having the complete assurity about the report that you did not miss any of the important point, you did not miss any important topic, you have included all the necessary and relevant information, then you're going to present or prepare the table of content. So though we keep it in the initial, though it is inserted in the very first page of the report, you need to keep this in your mind that the day you are going to present the table of content would be the last day of the complete compilation of the report. Then comes the next executive summary. As I have already explained you, when we talk about summary, summary is the gist of all the things that are there, that are mentioned, or the details that are included in the writing part. So when I talk about the writing part, that is a report. So from where did we start? What is the basic objective? How did we approach to the problem statement? What are the ways in which we started collecting the information? What are the derivations? What are the definitions? What are the things that we have derived out of the collected information? And finally, what is the recommendation? What is our finding? What is the conclusion that you derive? So all these things, when you present it in just a page or two, not running more than 1,000 words, keep this in your mind. If it is too lengthy, people will not have interest or people will not show their anxiety to know more about your report. So therefore, keep it as simple and as short as you can and restrict it in the word limit of 1,000 words so that you can present the executive summary in details with all the necessary and relevant information. Then comes the background study. You should know about the organization. You should know about the firm. You should know about the place where the organization is set up, the founder of the organization, the net worth of the organization, the competitors, about each and every detail about the firm or the organization or the institution, or even related to the research. Say, for example, if you're talking about a state, you should know about the background of the state. If you're talking about a company, you should know the background of the company. If you're talking about an institution, you should know about the background of the institution. In case if you are writing a report on an individual's performance, then you should also know about the individual. The basic information related to the individual should be furnished, and this is called as background study. After completing the background study, that is, which includes the detail of either the company or the institution or the organization or the individual, then we approach to the next segment, which is called as objective. Now, what do we understand by the word objective? Objective states that what is the main purpose of conducting or taking up the activity and furnishing the same, the details in the form of report. Now, the objective will help you to restrict your search. The objective will help you to limit your study. The objective will help you to identify the right audience, to identify the right place, to identify the right time, to identify the right topic, the right issue that you want to capture under your report. So objective should be properly determined and detailed so that people will not have any confusion while reading the report. And at the same time, people will be showing more interest. People will be excited to read more about your project or about your report. Then comes the next, study methodology. Are you approaching with the quantitative methodology or are you using the qualitative methodology? These are to be very well furnished. If you are not having a proper understanding about the methodology, say for example, you are having the information which you can present only in paragraphs. Such kind of information is called as qualitative, wherein there is less number of data, there is less number of figures, there are less statistics. The data is very less in terms of tables, in terms of figures, in terms of information that is to be furnished. So keep this in your mind that when we talk about the methodology, it should be very clearly identified. Will I go with quantitative methodology, wherein I am going to present the data, table, information with the help of statistics or with the help of certain statistical tool? Or will I be presenting only the paragraph? Will I be presenting the information in the form of words or in the form of different paragraphs? Or will it be an article which contains different kinds of composition? So keep this in your mind when you are choosing the right methodology. The best suggestive practices, it should be a combination of both quantitative as well as qualitative. Generally, whenever you are presenting any of your project report, try to mix up both. Try to have a combination, a right balanced combination of both quantitative as well as qualitative methodology. Then comes the next, that is finding and observation. You will start collecting data. You will start collecting the information. Based on the information that you have collected, you will find out the reasons. You will find out the problem statement. You will also find out how to eradicate or how to eliminate or how to overcome the problem and how to reach up to the conclusion. So the finding and recommendation matters a lot. From where to gather the information, how to sort the information, how to filter the information, how much to include, what to exclude, what is relevant, what is irrelevant, what is required, what is not required. So this will help you out in identifying and then presenting the information in the form of your report. And then finally comes the recommendation as well as conclusion. This is again very, very important. There has to be a purpose of conducting the report. If there is no purpose, there is no point of conducting the report. So therefore, the purpose should be very clearly identified when we talk about the object. And when we talk about objective, definitely it will have some or the other recommendation, some or the other conclusion. That conclusion should be very clearly defined and stated under the segment recommendation. Then at the end, you can see the word annexure. Now, this annexure is related to all the supportive documents. All the documents which you could not furnish in the middle or when you are trying to present your information, and from what are the sources, what are the from where have you collected the data, what are the methodologies of collecting the data, what are the ways in which you have gathered the information, and what are the sources. So all these things will be mentioned under the segment called annexure. The references, the bibliography, everything will be mentioned under the segment annexure. So the day when you identify these, it will help you to present your report in a better way. So from where are we going to start? When you start writing your project report, whether you are writing a summer internship report or whether you are presenting your mini project report that is related to your life project, or even if you're writing a report on the conference or the event or in the activity, remember, you're going to start with background study. After doing the background study, you proceed ahead with your objective. After identifying the objective, then you move to the methodologies. Then comes the finding and the recommendations that you are sharing along with the annexure. After doing all these, at the end, you're going to present your executive summary. Please remember, executive summary must have all the relevant information in gist. That is, it must be an abstract of all the information that you have present, all the necessary information that you have included in the report. And finally comes the table of content. So not to forget, whenever you are preparing any report, executive summary will be prepared at the end, and finally you are going to prepare the table of content. This will help you to present your ideas and thoughts in a logical manner. It will also help you to insert the necessary information. In case if you have skipped any of the important information, you can insert it, because the table of content is not yet prepared. The executive summary is not yet prepared. So there is no point of bothering, or you should not be worried at all. So don't you forget that table of content is the last activity of preparing your report or consolidating your report. Before that, we present our executive summary, and before that, we work on the complete details of the report. Now, when we talk about the essentials of report, we should always understand that there are basic things that we have to keep in our mind whenever we are preparing the report. These are the 6 important things. Whenever you want to prepare any report, the first thing is identify the purpose. If you cannot identify the purpose, are you going to prepare a routine report, or is this a research based report, or are you preparing a confidential report? Is it related to certain investigation, or is it related to certain analytical report, or related to technical opinion, or maybe related to the annual presentation? So you should have the perspective very clearly identified. That is, the objective should be very clearly identified. What kind of report you are going to present? What is the objective behind presenting this particular report? Once when the issue, once when the perspective is clear, once when your objective is very well defined, then gather the relevant facts and figures. The facts and figures that you're going to present should not be fake, should not be false. It must have all the evidences and proof. Supportive documents should be there. Don't be judgmental while presenting the report. You cannot have your own personalized opinion related to any of the information. So make sure that your approach is judicious. You are going to have the neutral impact over your personal opinion versus the information that you're going to present in the report. The analysis that you're going to do should be in depth. You cannot have a superfluous, or you cannot have a something wherein you can create a report on hypothetical information. So go to the root cause of the problem, try to understand or try to dig deeper and deeper to get the right information from the various resources, so that your report becomes authentic and your report is considered as validated ones. The viewpoints, whenever you are presenting the viewpoint, only one single person's viewpoint cannot suffice the need or requirement of the report. Always have the viewpoint from the other members too. So give your report to the others to read, so that they can share their opinion. It becomes a great help, or it definitely help you to improvise your report in a better way. And finally, not to forget, all the annexures, all the appropriate supportive documents should be very well furnished, included. Otherwise, you're not going to present your information in the fruitful manner. So keep this in your mind whenever we prepare any report. It is the detailed study of what is it that we want to write and present and give it to the audience, so that they can have a clarity, they can have a proper understanding. It will help them to take up the decision. It will help them to frame the policy. It will help them to understand the need of the audience and bring change accordingly. So reports are very, very important. There are a lot many committees. You must have heard about different committees who have presented their report, and based on the report, the policies are made not only by the central government but also by the state government. Sometimes even the organizations, the management members, they do create or make certain changes in their policies only based on the report. Even the doctors, based on the report, they are going to prescribe you the medicines. So you have to keep in your mind, you cannot be judicious, you cannot add only your personal opinion. You need to have that global exposure, and you have to collect the information globally. So keep this in your mind whenever you are presenting the report. The structure should be very well defined. The essentials of the report should be kept in your mind, so that you can present the report in the most attractive manner. So that's all in today's class. We are going to discuss about the collection of data. What are the ways in which the data could be collected? This we are going to discuss in our next class. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye.